sit down to record and they start doing some work outside. That's just great. All right, I've been on a roll with my fasting videos, so I think today I will do one potentially final fasting video for a while, but it's a very important one. This video is about the different windows of fasting and what each window provides. So this is for people who maybe have hard time getting into fasting. Maybe they already understand the benefits, but it just seems pretty extreme for them to jump into 5, 7 days, even 3 days. But understanding the different windows and what each window provides as a benefit, I think will be very helpful to get into this lifestyle. And throughout my fasting journey in this past 8-9 years, I have seen many people who want to do it, but they just don't even know how to get started. It just seems not feasible. And a lot of these people don't seem to realize that, well, when you're sleeping, you're fasting. So that encourages a lot of people who didn't realize, wait a minute, yeah, that's right, I'm unconscious for like 8 hours. That's a fast. But now let's go over the different windows. There's usually about a 14-hour window, then there's the 18-hour window, 72 plus hours, and so on. Let's start with the first one. So when you're sleeping, so let's say 8 hours, you're fasting for 8 hours. So from here, that's the easiest thing you can do to expand that window, that's what it's about, right? Just expanding the window where you're not eating and you're just drinking water. This is the best opportunity to just increase that window by a little bit by just skipping your breakfast. Breakfast is not the most important meal of the day. And in fact, in general, we've been just really lied to as to how should we eat, how much we should eat, and what's actually healthy. We're told to eat 3 times a day and maybe snack in between. And it's just about the worst thing you can do for your health and your body, because you are not allowing your body to rest. If you fast for 14 hours, this is when your body starts finally burning fat. I don't know actually if it's 12 to 14, if it's 13 or 14. I've seen various scientists say various things on this, like whether it's 12 or 14, but let's just go with 14 to be safe. But let's say you slept 8 hours and then you skip your breakfast, assuming you didn't gorge yourself late at night before bed, which you shouldn't do. That's about also the worst thing you can do for your health. Then now you fasted probably 14 hours or even more before you start eating your lunch. So this is when your body finally starts burning fat. It finally accesses your reserves, your stored energy, to start burning what you've eaten and stored. So if you're one of those people who, let's say, eats fairly healthy but doesn't lose weight and struggles with weight loss, something to think about, because we do eat more than we should. There's this arbitrary 2,000 calories per day you're supposed to eat. And in my experiments with myself and just being realistic, what's healthy, what's not, how much weight am I losing, the calories, I'm just highly suspicious if there's any validity to these calories. Yes, if you work out really hard, you're going to need more food, aka let's call them calories. But at the same time, I consume way less than 2,000 calories and I am not unhealthy. I do not lose weight. I am perfectly in the right weight and I remain in the right weight. Yes, if I fast, I might lose a little bit, but it bounces right back the second I start eating, because my body has found its perfect weight, I suppose. And yes, if I increase my calories and I start eating too much, I will likely gain weight. But at the same time, when I decrease it or skip it, it doesn't seem to affect. So there's something with calories I don't trust. But again, let's get back to the video. 14 hours, this is when you burn fat. The next window. So if you're wanting to lose weight, just keep that in mind. Right there, you already, by just skipping breakfast, are going to do a huge service to yourself. The next window is 18 hours. This is my favorite because this is, well, my favorite is stem cells, 72 plus hours, but 18 hours, this is when your body enters autophagy. Autophagy is when your healthy cells dispose of your zombie cells. So they just basically go into this clean out process, and they just repurpose or flush or whatever happens there, but they get rid of these zombie cells and they replace them with new cells. These are your assigned cells. These are not stem cells. We only get stem cells when we're born, and then the newborn cells, those stem cells, get assigned to skin and brain. So that's why we have skin cells, brain cells, and so on. So now when we enter autophagy at this 18-hour mark, our body starts renewing our skin cells, our brain cells. So it's just basically a self-cleaning mechanism. This is not a production of brand new stem cells. So I personally do intermittent fasting almost daily. Of course, I play around and skip here and there. I just kind of go with what feels right. There are times when it feels like I should just maybe have 2 meals a day if I worked out hard or something. So I'm not necessarily extremely strict, like I must eat 1 meal a day. But usually I do 20 hours of fasting and 4 hours of eating window, this is intermittent fasting. I'll go over intermittent fasting in a second here. That's what I do because I really want autophagy to start kick in. So if I enter autophagy at 18 hours, I let a couple more hours to go there with that process, then I can eat. So on daily basis, I am doing something with prolonging my aging process, I suppose. So intermittent fasting, which is a terminology most people by now have heard, that's when you basically you have an eating window and a fasting video. During the fasting video, you do not eat anything, no snacking, no small things, not even an herb. It's more about the water and also things that do not create a metabolic response or insulin spike or anything like that, like black coffee, for example, that I have here next to me that I want to drink. So black coffee, green tea, if it's all pure and good, no sugars, no creams, nothing added. These are, black coffee has 2 calories. Again, I don't even care about this calorie thing, but it doesn't create a metabolic response. Once I was fasting and I decided to have this ginger lemon herb tea, which was all from my garden, and I sensed the metabolic response. I started getting hungry. My stomach woke up, basically. Like, when your stomach goes from fasted state to, it's like, we're eating now. So that's what happened with ginger, for example. So I would keep it to just water and maybe black coffee. Intermittent fasting can be 16-8. So you fast for 16 hours and you eat within an 8-hour window. This seems to be quite easy for people and it's great for weight loss. Then the next window would be 18 hours of fasting and 6 hours of eating. This is what I personally would like, at least, if not the 24, because now you're entering autophagy. And then, of course, there's the 24, which is just a 4-hour window. And if you work out, that's, of course, much harder. I personally started working out a few months ago, and I realized that for me, it seems to be like sometimes I have to go 18-6 instead of 24 because I work out. Then immediately after the workout, I need to eat some kind of a protein. And then a couple hours later, I have my dinner. So 24 works sometimes, but due to lifestyle and maybe, how busy you are, you got to shower, not shower, whatever, it ends up being maybe 18-6. So now you have an understanding of what happens in 14 hours. You start burning fat. What are the intermittent fasting windows? 16-8, 18-6, 24. And the next is 72 plus hours. This is my favorite, but this is also where it gets a bit harder for people. I don't want to say that it's a breeze, but it does get easier. More you do, easier it gets. And cleaner your diet is, easier it gets. And this is when you start producing stem cells, like real baby, unassigned, brand new stem cells. And it's such an amazing process to observe, because I've said this in my other videos, but you can observe and see the healing process happening right in front of you, because whatever's happening internally, it's also happening externally. So you will see on day 4 or so, you look pretty hideous. All your fat deposits in your face, like that maybe you didn't know were there, just come out. And then day 5, they start healing. Day 6, 7, it just clarifies. And it's just such a beautiful process to observe. And actually, just recently, I was having some crazy reaction to something, and I couldn't understand what it was, and it got really bad where I thought I'm doing everything right, but I couldn't get my autoimmune under control until I just quit and went for a 4-day. I was gonna go for 5-day, but I did a 4-day fast. So I went for an 84 plus hours of fasting, and God, it's just amazing to see that even after such a response, just how your body starts healing and forgiving. And then if you're very careful how you introduce food, you can just really heal. This is for those who actually have an autoimmune issue, which I do. So this is one of the reasons why I talk about these topics. Anyway, I think this is the video that I wanted to really cover all the windows of fasting and how to get into it. And one thing I would highly recommend for anyone wanting to get into this lifestyle to do is don't focus on just losing weight or obsessing over how you look, and that's the motivator. Because when you feel good, you're gonna look good. When you enter this lifestyle, not with the mindset, oh, let me just do a fast and quickly lose some pounds so I can fit into a dress, or hey, can I just do fast one time and never do it again, and so on. Just try to visualize the beautiful benefits and the longevity and the age reversal, or at least if it's not reversing, then it's at least stopping or slowing down, whatever. Just think of the beautiful benefits long term and get into it, that this will become a habit. Because let's say if you like something a lot and you feel like there's no way you can give it up, trust me, the second you feel the benefits and you've already done it long enough, these things just become nothing. So if you think you can't go without your whatever it is that you like so much, and it's harmful, you won't feel that way after a little while. It just feels that way now. But the second you feel good, look good, and just the energy, the rejuvenation, the youthfulness, the clarity, mental clarity, creativity, once you feel all of these things, nothing will just be worth eating if it's going to crash that, if it's going to affect your progress in life. And this is why I say just basically get into it for a lifestyle and not just to quickly lose weight. The weight loss is just a beautiful byproduct. It will happen. You don't have to focus on it. It will happen if you're eating healthy, fasting, exercising, moving, even walking. Doesn't have to be, go to the gym and lift weights. But you will lose weight and you will look amazing. So that's it. That's all I have to say for this video. Thank you for being here, and thank you if you made it this far.